We know your fists are clenched right now. You see the Patriots lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers 21-14 at Gillette Stadium. Lots of opportunities for the Patriots today. 5 turnovers is the big story from this one. We're here with Phil Perry, Tommy Curran, special guest, multi-executive of the year, multi-Super Bowl champion Scott Pioli, and 3-time Super Bowl champ Ted Johnson. Just want to go around the horn. There's a lot to take away from this 21-14 game. Phil, let's start with you. What'd you see?
5 turnovers. That's the story to me. They aren't good enough to be able to overcome those kinds of mistakes with where this roster is right now. One of the pillars of Mike Vrabel's organization, what he wants this team to be about, ball security and ball disruption. Tom, when it came to the former, completely lacking today. It's why they lost the game.
And what's incredible is this is a team that's going to look and see that they had 5 turnovers, see that they got off the field repeatedly and actually created turnovers of their own from the Pittsburgh Steelers and should have won this game probably by 14 to 21 points. And the turnovers the Patriots committed were virtually unforced turnovers, fumbles with minimal contact. A bad decision by the quarterback, a horrible end zone interception. So I think Mike Vrabel, Scott, can look at his team and say, not only did you blow the game, but you're actually a decent enough team if you don't play stupid to beat a mediocre team.
Or don't play bad football, right? And it was because in the first half, too, the other thing I noticed was the penalties. This is anti-Mike Vrabel football. This is anti-Patriot football right now. But again, I'm going to tap the brake and say we're 3 games in. Right? So the turnovers will get corrected because, as every Patriot person knows, and in that building, that ball security is job security. So if you're going to turn the ball over, you ain't going to be around very long. So the other thing is the penalties, and it wasn't just the number of penalties. In the first half, the Steelers had 4 first downs because of Patriot penalties. That's not going to happen. You can't. That is not winning football. It's not clean football. Penalties, turnovers, that's the stuff that plays the game. That has to get cleaned up. It will. It's game 3. Tap the brakes, New England.
You know what? Scott stole my thunder right there because it's the penalties. You go 7 penalties, but they were really just very punitive penalties. I mean, they led to first downs that led to most of the points for the Steelers in this game. And the 5 turnovers is just inexcusable, but it's where they happen to and the time in which they happen. I mean, 2 of those turnovers were in the red zone. So just a killer. I mean, and people like to compare Drake Maye to Josh Allen, and the kid was playing brilliantly except for that interception before the half, which you could really, maybe that was a tip ball, so you don't maybe put it on him as much. But that fumble there he had at the end of the game, it was a killer fumble right there. Secure the ball. Don't try and it looked like he was trying to get rid of the ball, and he fumbled it. And so that was kind of what you saw from Josh Allen early in his career. We could play a brilliant game right up until the end where he'd make a boneheaded decision, and Drake Maye, as good as he played today, that play killed him right there.
Teddy, you know what? I was going to say, the interesting thing, Scott, on that play, you have the transition for the Patriots team in microcosm. Smart play.
Secures the ball, moves up in the pocket.
And then, it's last year again.
And he tried smart play, securing the ball, exactly what you're supposed to do, and then he does something not smart. And Ted, to your point, this is something we always used to talk about. The reason we're on the same page about the penalties, not all penalties are the same and not all turnovers are the same.
That's right.
So when you look at the aggregate in terms of the numbers of penalties, sometimes it's the timing and the value or the D-value of those mistakes.
They won a game last week with 12 penalties. They lost this game with just 7 to prove your point,
Well, I want to go back to this because, Scott, you said, look, this is going to get cleaned up. You're trying to tell New England, hey, pump the brakes. I'm not sure people want to pump the brakes right now.
Hey, I know how that goes, man.
I know you know.
I had a for sale sign on my house after year 1.
But I wonder if we're convinced, Phil, that the penalties are going to be cleaned up because, not the penalties, the turnovers. One of the turnovers was a Drake Maye interception in the red zone. We've seen that before from him. That's Drake at his worst. It was a Drake Maye fumble. We've seen that before. Rhamondre Stevenson, 2 fumbles. He's had a fumbling problem lately. So that's 4 of the 5 turnovers. Tell me, do you agree with Scott that this will be cleaned up?
I'm not sure. I don't know how you could be, especially when it comes to Rhamondre Stevenson. And to me, the fumbles for Stevenson in a vacuum, we have to discuss. His role has to be discussed. I wonder personally about the coaching decision of giving the football on the goal line where he coughs it up and gives it away. Again, you can't afford to have those kinds of mistakes. It's pulling points off the board. You don't get 7, you don't get 3, you get nothing because you gave the ball on the goal line, Tom, to a guy who's had fumbling issues, who had a fumble earlier in the game. Why do you have to keep giving it to him? Is he that much of a difference maker that you have to keep him involved, that you have to keep him happy, you have to keep his confidence up? Because to me, and I know Gibson fumbled earlier too, the difference between Gibson and Stevenson isn't that great. And so it doesn't make my point a great one when Gibson gives the football away as well. But for Stevenson to get the ball on the goal line in that situation and give it up, I look at the coaching staff and say, why is he getting the ball there?
Right. Well, and to just amplify the point, there were 2 picks that Drake Maye should have had that went for not 2. So it's a 5-turnover game with a pick that should have been on the first drive and one later after they had the 4th and 1 conversion. But for Stevenson to get the ball there, I wonder if Mike is trying to employ, hey, I still have faith in you. This is only your 3rd game with me. You made a mistake earlier. I'm going to give you the ball on this 4th and 1. I pick it up, and you know what? I'm not even scared to give it to you on the goal line here, Rhamondre.
That's the key, and both of you are right. It's game 3, and you are only going to get so many chances.
You better
At
get your
some
foot off
point
the
in
brake.
time, we've been here before.
I know.
We've been here before. And to me, Rhamondre Stevenson, terrific back. But if he's not going to hold on the ball, we're going to give someone else a chance. Curtis Martin got benched, guys.
Oh, wow.
All right? Curtis Martin got benched because he couldn't hold on to the football. So you're either going to learn to hold on to the football, or someone else is going to have it, or you're going to be somewhere else. And I'm not saying this has the chance to get fixed. And again, I'm going to be the voice of reason here amongst you all.
Why? Why?
It's going, and if it doesn't get fixed, that was the rule. Ted, you were there.
It was it.
We'll get it fixed. If we don't, we'll find someone else to do your job. I ain't mad at you. We'll just find someone else to do your job.
That was the culture back then, and that's the Vrabel's trying to establish a culture of accountability, and so that's going to be worth monitoring as how he handles Rhamondre Stevenson moving forward. It was an issue last year with Maye not benching him after some fumbles, and people were scratching their head and wondering why. It's very disappointing when you look at just the overall running back performance today. I mean, 3 fumbles, and even Travion Henderson gave up a sack earlier in the game. That was your best position group last week, right? So you're as you know, Scott, Bill Parcells very well, obviously. Coach Parcells used to always say to us, I want to know, I don't care if you're an average player, but be consistently average every single week. So I know what I'm getting from week to week. If you're a great player, I expect you to play great every single week. To have a position group have such a great performance last week, and then this one this week has to be very disheartening.
Well, it's funny. Tom, I'll start with you on this one. You want to talk about consistency week to week. Last week, we talked about Drake Maye, 19 of 23, only missed on 4 passes. So in the first half, we already talked about his interception. In the second half, in the final 2 minutes, he hadn't missed on a pass. And the last completion was to Pop Douglas, where Pop Douglas goes back and just misses on 4th down to convert it. Who's Drake Maye today? Last week, we were raving about Drake Maye. Drake Maye today, Professor Curran, what do you give him?
Drake Maye takes a step back. Drake Maye takes a step back from a 99 test score to about an 86, 84 test score, because you can't come out at the beginning of the game like that. And I understand that he might have been dinged right before halftime, but an end zone pick and an absolutely mind-numbing when you had the play over at a critical juncture in the game and it's 14-14, to be making the right play and then to start to raise your arm to make a stupid play that was going to yield what? Was it a first down play, Phil, when he did that, the fumble? Might have been a first down play.
I think it was.
There was no yield. There was no great gain that was going to emerge from that. And to me, what would irritate Mike Vrabel, I would think, is the Steelers went touchdown, touchdown. Then they went 3 plays punt, 3 plays pick, 3 plays punt, 3 plays punt, 5 plays punt. You got from your defense what you had been asking for. You got that improvement, and they pissed it away.
I look at this game for Drake Maye, and it's an example to me of not all progress being linear. So we all think that he's going to get better and he's going to continue to get better, but it's not going to go from Miami to this week to Panthers next week, and eventually by the end of the season he's going to be a first-team All-Pro. It's just not how it's going to work. And I thought that last 2-minute drive was actually a good encapsulation of where he's at as a player right now, because it started fairly well, right? He makes a couple of completions, has a nice scramble for a first down, gets out of bounds. Then he takes a sack on first down. Then he misses Pop Douglas over the middle, throws behind him, incomplete. Now you're in 3rd and long, and you're playing from behind the chain, Scott, and that's just not their strength right now. It's not his strength right now.
And Phil, you said something important. He took the sack, right? And this is where I love analytics, but you look at numbers. He had 102 point whatever quarterback rating today, okay? So people are going to think he played a good game, but he made a couple of critical errors because he had 5 sacks. He was sacked 5 times. He took 2 of them himself. And meaning where he held the ball too long, he did it early in the game, and then it's those turnovers. Right now, the interception in the red zone at the goal line, I still want to know how was he feeling, because we even saw Vrabel right before that play say to him, "Hey, are you okay?" He grabbed his head. And again, I'm not saying he was concussed, but you get fuzzy after plays like that. And then,
I would know.
To me, you had 1 or 2.
Yep, few.
And in that moment, Ted, you know, there's some confusion. You're not seeing everything clearly. Maybe you keep the ball in the running back's hands, but then that play was boneheaded. You know, because again, he secured the ball, he moved up in the pocket, and then he's trying to shovel. He's a young guy trying to do too much. And I've already seen, I don't know how many times in the 3 games, and even the preseason, Mike Vrabel's telling him to calm down, slow down. You know, we were texting and joking when we saw him being John Bonham on the, you know, but there's something about him having to learn how to calm down and be still and breathe, and that moment showed itself in the game.
It did, Scott, and you saw that a lot in the Week 1 game against the Raiders. Just his feet pitter-patting back there, and so I thought that maybe got flushed out last week against Miami, but the game plan last week against Miami was the ball came out fast. I mean, he had the 3rd fastest delivery time of any quarterback in Week 2, and it was, you know, just so he didn't have time to sit back there and think about the rush because the ball was coming out so fast. I wish there were more quick hitting plays in this game plan that there were in last week's game plan.
I think that maybe Vrabel and McDaniels can both talk to Drake Maye this week and say, look what happened in Miami. Look what happened here. You don't have to try to do too much. This is not North Carolina, and this is not the 2024 Patriots. We can actually take care of business a little bit defensively. We can actually run the ball a little bit. You have some protection. You don't have to put a cape on. And I really wonder if that's the outgrowth, because I do believe, Phil, 21-14 with 5 turnovers and 2 would-be turnovers. They should have won the game by a fair amount. And I think that the Patriots actually come out of this game saying, we lost, we're 1-2, but we're actually better than we thought if we could not be morons.